Hello and welcome back. This is Christina with Christina's Recipes. Today we're going to be making one of my all-time favorites, Pozole Rojo. Okay, so let's get started. We need 3 pounds of pork ribs, 3 pounds of pork carnitas. We also need 2 small cans of 29 ounce of hominy. And for our rest of the ingredients, we need half of a cabbage, 1 large onion, 2 bay leaves, and we also need radishes, oregano, and 5-leaf cloves. For our chiles, we need 2 chile anchos and 6 chile California. Now let's head over to the sink. I went ahead and washed my pork meat thoroughly. Wash it for a minute or two. For the meats, I like to use carnitas or shoulder as well. You could also, if you come across any type of pork meat with bone, I recommend getting it because it always gives the extra flavor to our pozole. Now that we are done washing our meats, let's head over to the stove. As you can see, I added the water just enough to cover the meat. You could always add more if you like. Now let's begin by adding half of the onion. Also add your garlic cloves and then you could add your 2 bay leaves. Okay, we are going to let the meat cook for 2 hours or until you can feel the meat is fully cooked. For the first hour, we are going to let it boil, but let's cover it with the lid. After an hour has passed and your pozole is boiling, remove your lid. If foam has produced on the top, please remove it all. Now we are gonna add the chicken flavor bouillon. Oops, I forgot to mention at the beginning, if you have the chicken flavor bouillon available, add it. Chicken flavor bouillon always adds the extra flavor to the meat. I will be adding it to my description below. There you will find all the ingredients you need. Also, don't forget to add a pinch of salt. Put the lid on the pozole and now let's wash our hominy. I am going to remove all the water it comes with from both cans and add it to a strainer. Let the water run for a minute and wash it with cool water. If you are making more, you could always use the same amount of meat and add a big can of hominy, 110 ounce. That will perfectly serve about 18 people with a good amount. Now that we are done washing the hominy, let's head over to the stove. Before adding the hominy, remove all the scum and foam it has produced. We want all these impurities from any meat we cook to be removed. Okay, so now you have removed most of it. Go ahead and add the hominy to the pot with the pork meat. This way I want for the hominy to cook with the meat and let it boil for another hour. As you can see, I'm checking the meat to see how soft it is, but it still needs more time to cook. While we let the meat cook, it is time to start making the sauce for the pozole. This step is very important. It is a quick process of 2 minutes at medium heat. Let the peppers brown a little and get soft, but do not let them burn. This process gives the peppers a good rich flavor. Add the garlic cloves as well. I am only adding 2 garlic cloves, but you can always add more. Now that we are done with the chiles and the garlic, let's go ahead and add the onion. After we are done, add the onion and the garlic to your blender. Using a scissor or a knife, remove all the pepper seeds. Depending how spicy you like your pozole, you could add chile de árbol to make it more spicy. I have picky eaters, so what I am making won't be spicy at all by removing all the seeds. There is always the option of making your own salsa picante. When you finish removing all the seeds from the chiles, add the water just enough to cover and let it sit in your stove top for about 8 minutes till it boils. Another option is to let your chiles hydrate on hot water for 30 minutes. While we wait for the chiles to hydrate, let's cut the other half of the onion finely chopped in small pieces. Let's chop everything in small pieces and our cabbage finely. For the cabbage, add it to a strainer and wash it. Put it in a bowl, a small bowl, adding water to your finely chopped cabbage. Adding water will always keep it fresh for longer in your refrigerator. 8 minutes have passed and the chiles have come to a boil. Let's go ahead and just add the chiles to the blender. I am not going to add the water from the chiles. I will be using the pork broth. This will give the sauce a good flavor. Now it's a good time to add your garlic cloves and get your blender ready. I will be adding 2 big full spoons of pork broth. My pork broth is cool because I added extra water. We don't want our broth to be hot when we add it to the blender. Or you could always take out pork broth 30 minutes before. And let's add the pinch of salt. Chicken flavored bouillon is also a great option. Now that we have all our ingredients, let's start blending. Blend for 2 minutes. We want our sauce to be fully blended and mixed. I mixed my chile sauce for 3 minutes. Now I'll be checking if it needs more time. My chile sauce has mixed fully, and as you can see, it doesn't need extra time. Add pork broth and set aside to cool off. At this point, before adding the sauce for the pozole, 2 hours have passed since I have put my meat to cook. Now I want to show you how soft my pork meat is. It literally comes apart, and it is how we want our meat to be. You can use a fork if the meat is too hot, but either way, what we want to accomplish is our meat to be soft. Okay, my lovely people, let's add the chile sauce, but with the help of a mesh strainer, add it to your pork. We want a nice and clean broth, and add more pork broth to the sauce to get all the chile sauce out. And for the puree that is left in the mesh strainer, we are going to throw it away. For another 15 to 20 minutes, let it boil. Now it is the time to check your pozole to see if it needs more salt, but we don't want to over salt it because we've been adding salt already. Check your pozole and add the salt if you need it. I let my pozole boil for another 20 minutes, but as you can see, I couldn't wait any longer to give it a try. You can wait for the pozole to boil, but if you're like me, well, I hope you like my recipe. Now that I have dig in and my pozole is done, don't forget to add the chips, the onion, also the radish and the oregano, and of course our cabbage. And add your vegetables now and top it off with Mountain of Joy. Did you know the name oregano is derived from the Greek words oros for mountain and ganos for joy? Well, I didn't. It's always good to learn something new. Doesn't this look delicious, my friends? Well, for me, it definitely does. And as always, thank you for joining me today. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Take care.